Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. What's going on? How's everybody holding up in the midst of all this chaos that's going on in America? It's a lot of chaos that's going on in America. It's a lot of chaos going on in our communities. There's a lot of chaos going on at our workplaces. Now, we're going to jump straight into it today. We're not going to waste any time. Straight into it. But the first thing that I need you guys to do is to share out the program. I'm not playing no videos today. I want to get straight into this. This is so serious that we have to have this conversation. And I've been trying to have this conversation with my coworkers for a very long time. Now it seems as if America all of a sudden want to have these conversations. But like I said, please share out this live video. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. If you're watching on Twitter, retweet it. If you're watching on YouTube live right now, retweet it. If you're on Facebook watching us, please retweet it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna practice what I preach. I'm gonna share it myself. So give me a brief minute. And this is exactly what you guys should be doing. Share out the live video. You want people to know what's going on at our workplace, what's going on in our communities. This is the best show to do it on. We unscripted. We say what we want. We be on for as long as we want, so we don't have to give a 10-minute interview and only show a minute. We get our thoughts out, and we say what it is. Now, let me share it inside some groups real quick. Share this inside some groups. Don't know. It's very important to share out these shows. You guys have no idea. Take some time to share out the shows. I leave the rest to you guys. I leave the rest of the sharing to you guys. You know what? I was gonna start with something else first, but I think that I want to start off with this. The other day, the MTA, they said that they are providing masks and hand sanitizer for their employees. I mean, not for the employees, my fault, for the riding public. The MTA is providing PPE for the riding public. And I want to show you guys who's supposed to be responsible for this. You have them loading station agent booths up with boxes of PPE to give to the public. This is actually inside a booth, and a lot of booths are looking like this. Started looking like this in the beginning of the week, and the MTA actually came out with a bulletin about hand sanitizer distribution, and this is the bulletin. And as you see in the bulletin, you see they have the hand sanitizer on the aperture of the booths, which is kind of crazy to me. And just to give you guys a clearer picture of what it looks like outside of the booth, this is exactly what it looks like inside outside the booth. Now, this is the issue that we have at hand right here at the MTA. How can the MTA hand out masks to the public when they still giving their employees one mask a week? Someone explain to me how that works. How does the MTA hand out masks to the public before they take care of their own workforce? And what's ironic about this whole thing is that the employees who make the system run. We lost 140 something coworkers. We still have to sign for our PPE. Now, the riding public, they don't have to sign for this mask and these masks and hand sanitizer. But the employees have to sign for mask and individual hand sanitizer. Now, what a customer could do is they could go from booth to booth to booth and gather as much PPE as they want, because nobody could tell them no, or nobody's tracking who's getting what. But when it comes to the employees, they want to keep tabs on us just wanting to remain safe. I think that this is egregious. I think this is outrageous. And this shows us who we really are working for. I mean, these passengers can really go from booth to booth to booth and collect supplies. Meanwhile, we're being questioned like we're thieves if we ask for a new mask, if our masks break. Does that make sense? Does that sound like an employer who cares about their employees, or who cares about the riding public more than their employees? Which one is it? Which one is it? Now, to all the station agents out there, there's a guy out there. He fights for y'all. His name is John Mooney, right? Brother Mooney. That's what I call him, Brother Mooney. So Brother Mooney put in a safety rule dispute resolution form, and this is the G2 from it. And basically he's stating that this hand sanitizer on the bottle, it says it's flammable. So they got a whole bunch of flammable liquid inside your booth, which creates an unsafe situation. So this hand sanitizer don't belong in the booth. It's unsafe. It's totally unsafe. And not only is the hand sanitizer being flammable and safe, it's unsafe for your safety, because in this bulletin, I'm gonna put this bulletin back up, it states that when hand sanitizer is needed on the aperture of your booth, they want you to leave your booth, the safety of your booth, to go out there and replenish. So the passengers, and they say co-workers, could take it. That's BS. Because look at this right here. You see the hand sanitizer there, right? Let's just say somebody wanted to do something to a station agent, and they say, hey, there's no more hand sanitizer here. Can you come bring some out? You leave out of the safety of your booth, make yourself available to the public, and you get assaulted. Or someone goes inside the booth and do something. Anything can happen. The MTA didn't think this through. The union let it go through. And I mean, this is just ridiculous. Ridiculous on behalf of the MTA. So what I advise you guys to do, this is the safety rule. This is the safety rule dispute resolution form. As far as the G2 is concerned, this is what the G2 look like. I advise you guys to take this, copy it word from word, give it to your supervisor, and let them know that it's unsafe for you to deal with flammable liquid inside your booth. The MTA, they have to find another way to handle this. I don't know what the union was thinking about this. I have no idea at all. Now, in the wake of what's going on in America, there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of sadness, and people are starting to really see that there's a problem the way police blacks, right? I mean, it took them long enough, but now everyone is seeing that there's an issue here with policing in Black America, where we always get the deaf end of the stick, or the nightstick part of the stick, or the knee part of the stick. Whatever the case may be, we don't get the good end of this bargain when we interact with police. So it seems to be like a follow the leader thing. Like now everyone wants to say that they standing with George Floyd, and you got all these corporations, which you got these unions, and I believe that a lot of it is fake, especially when it comes to Local 100. I believe a lot of their activism is fake. They are only doing it because everyone else is doing it, and that's what it is. So look, I'm gonna put this screenshot. I'm gonna put this on the screen. This is actually from the union website, and I'm going to read a little bit of it, and I'm going to break it down to you guys how not only are corporations faking the funk when it comes to them all of a sudden want to care about black issues. Now, I'm not saying that it's too late for them to do it, but at least be genuine about it. And when it comes to Local 100, they are not being genuine about it. They're being fake about it. Their alliances lie with others, not with us, and especially not with the black community. So if you read what's on the screen here, it says the death of Eric Gardner caused by a police chokehold in July 2014 hit home in the hardest of fashions for our union. His sister is a bus operator in Brooklyn. Shout out to Lily. His mother was a retired train operator, and his aunt a station agent. I actually worked with his mother on the N line before she retired. The TWU family rallied around the Garner family as only a union can do, especially a union like ours, which was built on a cornerstone of equality in the workplace and the society at large, and which played such an active role in the civil rights movement. Now, Local 100 did not play an active role in the civil rights movement. They cut Martin Luther King a check. You know, I'm grateful for them cutting them a check, but it wasn't like they was marching and they was boycotting with us. That wasn't going on. So that was not an active role. You shout out to Quill, because Quill is in a league of his own. He built this union. He put it together. He fought against the bosses. But now they trying to sell it as something else. So how can Local 100 President Tony Utano say we stand with the Floyd family? Now, just something happened recently, but before we get to that, I want to bring this to you guys' attention. They mentioned Garner in this situation, and PBA President Pat Lynch said Garner caused his own death. He caused his own death. A man selling cigarettes loosely caused his own death. So selling cigarettes can cause your own death at the end of the day. It makes no sense. So just to sum this up a little bit, Local 100 said they stand with the Floyd family. They reference Eric Garner and his family. During that time, Pat Lynch was saying that Garner caused his own death. Now, who do Utano really stand with? You guess right. He stand with Pat Lynch. How can you stand with Pat Lynch and then claim that you stand with the Floyd family and reference Gardner, but you standing next to the man who said that Gardner caused his own death? Do that make any sense to you guys? How can he say he's standing with the Floyd family, reference the minimal stuff that they did for when Gardner died, but then stand next to the man who said that Gardner caused his own death? This make absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. But and then they standing next to Pat Lynch for something that they could have done. They let the PBA feed us. You talking about a union of our magnitude who bring in close to $30 million a year. We are worrying about a police union feeding us. So you stand with the Floyd family, you stand with the Garner family, but you stand next to Pat Lynch over food? I'm trying to figure out when are we going to wake up? Because they don't have to wake up. Utano don't have to wake up. Trump don't have to wake up. Cuomo don't have to wake up. De Blasio don't have to wake up. When are we going to wake up and see through their lies and see through their BS so we can see exactly what's going on? We got to see exactly what's going on. Now, This past week in the MTA, it's like revelations. Things are revealing itself. In fact, in the world, this year started off kind of crazy. Kobe dying, the pandemic, losing all these coworkers, the killing of George Floyd, all these revolutions and revolts happening, protests, rioting, no justice, no peace. All of this stuff is taking place. Hold on, before I begin, I see we got almost like 100 people inside watching live. Can you guys please share out this video? We're about to get deep into what's really going on at the MTA. I got some new information, and please share out the video right now if you can. I'm gonna take 1 minute for you guys to share out the video. Start a watch party. If you're watching via Twitter, tweet it out. If you're on YouTube, share out the link. If you're watching live with us on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, Facebook is our biggest platform. Put it on your personal page. Put it in every group that you in. Start a watch party. I need you guys to do that right now. We're about to get deep into what's really going on at the MTA. Thank you, Tracy. I see you got it. Yeah, definitely share out this live. We're about to get real deep with what's going on. All right, so check it out. Hold on, never mind. Yeah, before I get into that, if you want to donate to the show, the Cash App, Progressive Action 100. The PayPal is Progressive Action. All of that just went on the screen. If you want to support the platform, it's greatly appreciated. This is how the platform function through you guys. But we're about to get into the meat and bones of today's show. So, ever since I started in the MTA, I've been hearing about racism racism this, racism exists, and these people is this, these people is that. And even like my first time coming to Stillwell, I heard that, oh, you can't sit at that table over there because that's the white boy table, whatever. And they was kind of like really right. Like it was only a set of people that sat at that table. And if anybody of color sat at that table, they gave you a look. Now, me being who I am, you know what I did. Sat at the table. And I was waiting for someone to say something to me. They didn't say anything. They just looked, right? Give you uncomfortable looks to make it feel like that you shouldn't be sitting there, whatever. Light stuff, right? But you work at this company, you hearing about all this racism, but there's not really no proof. Like, that it's there. We see it. We see it through how they discipline us. We see it in the contracts that they offer us. We see it how the managers treat us. We see it. But there's not like really no hard proof. And the people who probably got proof, they probably afraid to come forward because they're afraid of this discipline machine. A lot of people feel they can't get another job after the MTA. I get it, right? They feel like their life may be over after the MTA. So they're afraid to come forward and speak. So we never really had any kind of evidence to show how, some of these people are thinking, right? So just to bring y'all up to date, yesterday, Daily News article came out, and it says they're destroying the city. MTA employees sent home for Facebook post about George Floyd protesters in NYC. Now, I became aware of what was posted, and I'm gonna put on the screen right now it was sent to me. This was sent to me about what a manager, a superintendent said, and it says it like, remember, white people, your sole purpose during this time is to protect people of color while they are destroying the city. Now, I was kind of like surprised that he would boldly say that. And that manager name is Jason Brown, by the way. He works in RCC. He's a line superintendent. Young too, 35 years old. Moved up very quick. We're going to discuss that. But what bothered me is he said, we're destroying the city. People of color are destroying the city. Now you have people there saying that because of what Professional Recluse, what she wrote, he was responding to that. If you read what Professional Recluse said, she never said anything about blacks or people of color destroying the city. Jason Brown came up with that narrative himself. So that raised an eyebrow. So then upon further investigation of his profile, some pictures, some screenshots came up from 2013. And this was all during the whole George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin situation. And during that time, he said, let me get to my screenshot. He said, no, Zimmerman was driving to the target, meaning Trayvon, to target. You know, that was very unnecessary. And that could have been his opinion, right? That could have been his opinion. But he came back with this comment where he said, first of all, he was applauding the not guilty verdict of George Zimmerman. He was happy, you know, that an innocent black man was killed and George Zimmerman got off. So inside that thread, he said, if I had a neighborhood watch coordinator, he looked like George Zimmerman. Totally uncalled for. Why would he want someone to look like who killed an unarmed black man? Something to think about, right? Why would he want someone to watch his community who's killing innocent black men? And then another screenshot popped up of Jason Brown along with Christopher Rivera. He was a TSS when this picture was taken. He's now another manager. They are great friends. Him and Jason are great friends. And on this screenshot, he said, talking about how to further torture and discipline hourlies over breakfast. To further torture and discipline hourlies. How crazy is that? It sound like both of them are on some type of slave patrol. Who wants to torture their coworkers through punitive discipline? Who wants to do that? What manager would even play like that? This is conduct unbecoming to the highest degree. Because when you look at the makeup of this company, like I have been saying for the past 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, this is a mostly minority company, New York City Transit, right? There's 49% blacks alone. There is 78% minorities in this company. So when you see someone say that, and then you couple that with people of color are destroying the city, you couple that with Zimmerman was driving to the target. To target, and you couple that with, if I had a neighborhood watch coordinator, I would want him to look like George Zimmerman. Then you see this. When this manager said this, he's targeting people of color. He's targeting people of color. Now, when these screenshots first dropped, matter of fact, let me put this screenshot back on When this screenshot first came out, because this is the first one that I got, you had people running to his defense. Oh, he's a nice guy. He's not racist. He's not this. He's not that, blah, 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 blah. The other screenshots dropped. This screenshot came out. Silence of the Lambs. This screenshot came out. Silence of the Lambs. This come out. Silence of the Lambs. So now you had Jason Brown supporters. They went silent. Now, this was Chris Rivera, his first time in the picture and being accused. And just to be clear, I never called him racist. If you could read the post that I made, I never called him a racist. Never, ever. Right? So, but what I would say is that he co-signed this picture. This picture is from 2017. Now, they got the same circles. They got like a little buff community, little buff community. They care about trains and buses and, they care about that stuff. They have a very close-knit tight community. So you trying to tell me Chris didn't know about this picture? He knew about it, but he agreed with it, right? Because if someone put something up there, one of my friends put a picture up of me that I don't agree with, and it may put me in a bad light, I'm going to tell my friend, can you please take it down? Can you please change the caption? Or if it was up there too long and I caught it late, can you put up a disclaimer saying X, Y, and Z? That was never done. So Chris was actually in line with Jason views. And like I said, they are friends. They are friends outside of the job. So then you had people saying, no, it can't be Chris. It can't be Chris. It can't be Chris. First of all, my history with Chris Rivera, this guy, when I first started Progressive Action and making my thoughts known and things of that nature, this guy attacked me. He attacked me. He came out of nowhere attacking me, right? But he used to attack me very weird. Like, he used to talk about my gym photos. This guy used to go talking about my chest and my arms. And I used to be like, hold on, it just made me feel uncomfortable. It really did make me feel uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, where I had to ask him, or I had to tell him, seriously, I don't mess around like that. Like, I do not like men. I do not like guys. I have a lot of friends who I'm cool with, and we respect each other, right? But it seemed like it was just a weird way he was attacking me. Like, who goes to someone's gym picture and say something about their chest or their arms? And I'm like, do you hate me? Or are you trying to hit on? Like, I didn't get it. And it was real strange to me. But he kept on going with this stuff. Now, I must say that when he became a supervisor, he did stop. I didn't hear nothing from him. He didn't say anything. And it was cool, right? But it was just some weird type of advances and attacks he was doing on me, and I didn't appreciate it. It almost felt like I was being harassed, almost, to be honest. But I just didn't get it. But Chris, people think that he's a saint and he's this good guy. This guy is toxic. He is toxic. I mean, just with his attacks, like, who goes out and just attack me? You got to be kind of crazy to do that, right? So he just went out and did that, and he was just like I said, a weird way. So I already had a negative experience with him. So now everybody's coming to Chris' defense. Chris. So someone on Twitter, I think their name is Kill Love Stereo or something like that, had added me with some more screenshots. And the screenshots included a female by the name of Tanya Villanueva, right? Come to find out, she ended up being friends with Chris, not only at work, but she knew Chris before the MTA. So, like I said, they was a tight-knit community. This isn't nothing. You got the people who's on the job saying, I worked with him. He answered my question, so he's a good guy. He was my conductor, he was my train operator, and he was a good guy. And he can't be a racist, or he can't be bad because when I went to the pick board and he was just doing his job of the pick board, he did his job of the pick board, so he just can't be racist. Like, do y'all understand how silly that sound? Do you guys understand how, like, he answered your question, so he can't be racist? He helped, his job was the pick board. He helped you at the pick board, so he can't be racist. Like, are we that naive? Are we that naive? We cannot be that naive, right? So, Tanya Villanueva, she end up contacting me and let me know what the real deal was, and that those screenshots that was posted on Twitter, and I posted them on Progressive Action, that Chris was actually defending Jason's racist rants in 2013. He was defending his racist rants in 2013. So if you're not defending Jason because someone's picking on his height or someone's saying he's skinny or his hairline is pushed back. You're not defending him for that. You defending him for racist views. So if you defending someone's racist views, what does that make you? Because you wasn't only defending, you was trying to convince Tanya that he was right on his racist views. And this actually bothered her. She was really, like, she told me that this thing really bothered her. I should have had her on the show. I should have had her call in. But she said that this thing really, really, really bothered her, right? It bothered her to the point that Chris nor Jason was allowed in her home because of their racist behavior. She was really, really hurt by this. Now, like I said, this is someone who knew Chris before the MTA. They go to each other's houses. They hang out. They do things together. So she knows him better than any one of us know him, right? And normally when you're dealing with these races, they won't really show it at work. If you really want to know how someone feel, you be a fly on their wall in their home, near their dinner table, where inside a place they trust, around people that they trust. And Tanya was someone who they trusted. They was trying to get her to hate her own people. At the very end of the day, that's what he was trying to do. So then once that was posted, and she posted her own explanation, explaining it all, then the Chris Rivera followers fell back because they like, okay, something is not right here. Something is not right. Now, the problem with these new guys, like you had Jason, he moved up quick. They said that he went from one level superintendent to the next level superintendent before 2 years, right? How did that happen? They also saying that MTA management knew about Jason's racist remarks. Management knows about this, right? They swept it up under the rug. Someone with these kind of views should not have been promoted. Jason shouldn't have been promoted. Chris shouldn't have been promoted. They are in positions of power where they can exercise exactly what's going on in the screen. That screenshot that's on the screen, they could actually exercise it. They could torture and discipline hourlies. They have the power to do that. How did they get promoted? Now, my theory is this. I believe that the MTA knew of these comments because they did know, right? I think that they seen future tiki torch holders for them. I think they seen that, oh, wow, you know what? Jason Brown and Christopher Rivera, they share our views. We got to hurry up and promote them and get them through the ranks. You don't think that they was thinking that? Because we all know that there's racism in the MTA. We all know that. How can they fast track their promotions before other people who I know that is mad about these promotions? A lot of managers called me. I'm talking about managers that I never spoke to before. Got in contact with me and said, Tramel, I'm glad you're talking about this because it isn't right. It's not right. Other black managers called me and they were upset at this because they know they were overlooked for someone like Jason Brown, who shouldn't have never been promoted. In fact, he shouldn't even have a job. He shouldn't even have a job. So what happened yesterday, for those who just joined, the article came out in the Daily News, and we're not done. We're not done because I don't trust the MTA. They love to cover up their racism. They don't care about the black people on this job. It's all a joke and it's all a lie. So I don't trust them. So other people will be getting involved. There will be more news stories coming out in the near future. We're pushing. But I made some important emails. We're going to be filing all types of paperwork because I feel that we got management red-handed, and I don't believe that they're going to do the right thing. I believe that they're going to hide them out like they do everyone else. They're going to wait for this to blow over and then bring them out again. But to the MTA, I'm going to make this clear to you guys. I'm going to make this very clear to you guys. Jason Brown nor Christopher Rivera can ever supervise me again. I would never listen to what a racist got to say. They can't tell me nothing. They can't tell me a word. I will not listen to them under any circumstance. I will not take a directive from them. If you guys want to continue to cover for racists, that's your problem, not mine. I'm not dealing with it. I will not listen to these guys at all. They both need to be gone. Adios. Or become cleaners the same way you do us. Make them cleaners. If they don't want to be cleaners, then get them up out of here. They definitely do not want that. They definitely do not deserve to be managers. If they don't represent what you guys represent, then you guys need to do the right thing. And like I said, when we make mistakes, when you guys feel that we did the worst thing in the world, when someone come up dirty because they smoked a little weed, you want to give them a program or demote them. But as soon as someone says something racist, you're investigating and we're trying to see what's going on. What's worse, someone smoking weed or someone with these racist ideologies that's actually practicing it? What's worse? What's worse? There's no bigger cancer. There's no bigger influenza. There's no bigger disease than racism. And you guys have been protecting this for a very, very long time. For a very long time. And enough is enough. You guys have to take action. And before I even went to the media, I told the MTA, I said, I'm not asking for an apology. I'm demanding an apology. If you guys do not co-sign this statement, only thing I'm asking you guys to say is that Jason Brown views is not reflective of what the MTA stand for. If any MTA worker felt hurt, harmed of these hostile comments, we apologize. Jason is a part of our leadership. He shouldn't have said it, and we don't stand by him with those comments. That's all they had to say. That's all they had to say, but they didn't say anything. They didn't say, we're sorry. They ain't say nothing. It's business as usual for them. It's business as usual for them. So, like I said, that came out in the Daily News, and this was basically the MTA response in the Daily News. Abby Collins, the MTA's spin doctor, she says, we have zero tolerance for racism or discrimination of any kind, and the matter is under investigation. What does zero tolerance mean? They have zero tolerance. If they had zero tolerance, they would have made an apology to the African-American workforce regarding their managers' statements. They claim they have zero tolerance. They have all the tolerance in the world when it comes to them discriminate against blacks on this job. They have all the tolerance in the world. Now, come to find out, people were saying that, yeah, Jason, it was they were saying he was suspended without pay. He was sent home. Some other people were saying that he's working in a covert location, and that he's still working. Well, come to find out, the MTA, like I said, they have tolerance for racism. So this is the superintendent's schedules at RCC. I covered out everybody last name, and they pass numbers. That's what you see in black. But I left Jason Brown. You see the J Brown. His audios is Sunday, Monday. But if you look at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you see SA. SA stands for special assignment. Now, Jason's special assignment is working from home. So yes, overt racist who boldly puts these statements on Facebook attacking blacks was sent home with pay in the middle of a pandemic. Is that punishment? Does that seem like the MTA have zero tolerance? Which one is it? Right? It seemed like they got tolerance. I wish the MTA could send me home with pay over something good. They sent him home with pay because of his racist remarks. So I guess any other manager, if you want to get sent home with pay, go talk about blacks. They have all the tolerance in the world. You're going to be sent home with pay just like Jason Brown, and everything is going to be good. They're going to wait for it to blow over. We already know how they operate. They're going to wait for it to blow over and go say, Jason, it's a right for you to come out your cave now. Just don't say what you go say about blacks on the internet. Just say it in your home. This is the BS that we deal with in this company. But I promise you, we are not done. We are not done. We're going to make sure that this get rectified ASAP. But like I said, he's home. He's getting paid. He's sent home with pay because of his racist remarks. And this is how the MTA, they do business. And just to be clear, when we dealing with these covert racists, the whole ideology of covert racism is to not make you think that they're racist. So if you see someone every day and they cordial to you, they speak to you, they bring you coffee, they bring you lunch, that doesn't mean that they not racist. That's just the price they pay. Some of them get a thrill out of, I'm gonna bring him something, but he just don't know how much I really hate him. They probably get a kick out of that. Right? And I know it's hard for us to see because we build bonds with people at work. We social people, right? Humans are social. So you build bonds with people. You ain't worrying about their skin color, they religion. You build bonds with people. We spend more time sometime with people at work than we do with our own family and stuff like that. So you build that bond with them, and then when something hit the fan and it's the proof is right in your face, you trying to make every excuse in the world as to why it can't be. Some of the guys that was taken up, like I can imagine you guys would probably cut off your girls faster if you found out that they cheated than one of your coworkers being racist. I mean, like you guys had me perplexed, and it's like, do we want to figure out this racism thing at work or we don't? Or maybe this is the dilemma. You know what? We want to fix this racism problem at work, but we don't want it to be anyone that we know. We don't want it to be anyone who we stick up for, things of that nature. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. That's the dilemma. Yes, Christopher Rivera and Jason Brown, they was caught out there. Unfortunately, they was caught out there. They thought it was cute. They thought it was funny. They both deleted their pages, their Facebook pages at the same exact time. They conspired to do this. They conspired to do this. And like I said, what we need to find out is who promoted these guys. How did they move up so quick? Because we will find more answers from the people who promoted them, who signed off on their promotions, who had them up under the wing. you will find more answers. So unless they pay him off or unless someone promising him something, but we're going to do what we have to do to expose this. More heads is going to roll and people are going to be very embarrassed. Sean, do you think it's possible to track down who fast tracked his promotion? I've been hearing things, and I'm about to get some more information. So the only person that could really fast track a promotion is the vice president of Subways. That's Barry Greenblatt. So we're going to see what's up with that. And I've been hearing a few names. And we're going to make we that's going to do what we got to do, man. Like I said, progressive action. We doing this at our tools. We doing this still recovering from COVID. We doing this with families at home and things of that nature. Imagine if we had 24 hours a day to fight the transit authority. They will be in some serious trouble. They will be in some serious trouble if we had all day to fight them. But we don't. But we doing the best we can. And we finally made a breakthrough with this racism at the MTA. They made two big mistakes. Two big mistakes. And I'm getting new information every day. I'm getting superintendents calling me every day, and they are very upset. So I'm hoping that they do the right thing. I'm hoping that they stand up. They know that I got their back 100%. But they are bothered by this, and I believe that they have to stand up themselves. I don't think that Jason Brown or Chris Rivera, they should have union representation for their remarks. I think that we need to draw the line with our morals and say this isn't right. You got yourself in these racist conversations that you must defend yourself. You know, one union rep from the SSSA said that he will not be representing them because he told them, and he's not defending people racism. He just said that he's not doing it. So I'll applaud him. I forgot his name, but I applaud him for sure. Definitely. But we got to fix this. We got to fix this situation. We're going to get it done, though. Believe that. So other stuff that's going on in America. Defying police. Police unions, New York lawmakers ban chokeholds. What took so long? I mean, the police only been choking us for about 8 decades, 7 decades, as far as what the police is concerned, probably longer than that. But I think the earliest chokehold I seen in New York was like 1970s. That was documented. But they've been choking us for a very long time. You had that I think his last name was Miller. We had Anthony Baez. Of course, we had Eric Garner. We had who else we had we had other people in New York who didn't die that they chokeholds is also on video. But what took them so long to ban this chokehold? You know, it's like what happened recently in the air that make everyone want to discuss black issues and black lives really matter and we need to do something. Now, I'm not mad at it, but wow, like what's really going on here? What's really going on here? Say Renee Lewis said Willie T's. Yeah, that's the name, Willie T's Torres. Shout out to you, bro. Nita, if you want to donate, you could donate Cash App, Progressive Action 100, PayPal, Progressive Action, and you could do it through Patreon. You could donate through Patreon. It's in the link of the video. Let's see. Another thing that bothered me in the media lately. Did y'all see this? Did you guys see this? We got a whole bunch of politicians donning kente. A whole bunch of politicians donning kente. What you looking at right here is, let me put up the other picture too, because this is ridiculous. I ain't got the other. All right, I'll put this one up. But they also got a picture of them kneeling with the kente. But what you see here is a bunch of career politicians who were ignoring the screams of the black community. Now they wearing kente. This is embarrassing. This is ridiculous. And we are, as a community, celebrating it. Now, for those who don't know, kente is like cultural, religious. It means something. Like the gold means, I think, your wealth, and all these colors on the kente mean something. And I guarantee that they don't know what it means, right? But they wearing it. What's the difference between them wearing kente, mocking African culture and heritage, than mocking another community heritage? Why they never mock another community heritage? You think that they would come there dressing like Indians? You think that they would come there resembling the Jewish community? You think they would do that? But they only feel comfortable doing this to blacks. And they thought it was cute. You right, Todd Lerner, Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi. You know, they playing with our culture and our heritage. And to be honest, everybody was upset when Trump came with the Bible and he did this pose in front of the church. What's the difference between Trump holding the Bible in front of the church and these politicians wearing the kente on their knees like they care about black issues? We are talking, these politicians just didn't get into office. These are career politicians. We talking about 20, 30, 40 years. Career politicians. What is the difference between what Trump did? And I'm not defending Trump, but what's the difference between what Trump did and what these people are doing wearing the kente? There's no difference. There's absolutely no difference between the two. Now, all of a sudden, they want to be pro-black. And stop with the photo ops, stop with the snapshots and all the shenanigans. The only thing you have to do is pass laws. Stop mocking everything. Pass the laws. If you really care about us, forget the kente. I don't care if you come out there butt naked. Pass the laws that's going to protect my community. This is super disrespectful to African culture and heritage. Super disrespectful. They would never ever do that to someone else's heritage and culture. Never. Never in a million years. Said Joe Biden, 48 years. Look at that, man. And Biden is another one, man. Biden is a man. This is so crazy. So you see all this mockery of our culture. We see we in what arena would people of color get respect? At the MTA, we're not getting respect. In our communities, being policed, we don't get respect. There's so much going on, but there's change happening, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. There's change happening. And I'm happy about things are happening. Things are happening, man. Things are happening. But we have to do better. We have to do better, particularly at the job. We cannot have managers posting stuff like this, talking about torturing employees. We can't have that. You know, if Utano claimed that he cared the way he cared, why don't he get to the bottom of this? But I can't expect Utano to represent me when he don't know what we go through. He don't know. He can't represent people of color against the MTA. he caught a fit when they told him to have a safe Columbus Day. This is worse than having a safe Columbus Day. This is worse. Where's Utano at? Where's Utano at? And I just got some other screenshots of a train operator named Patrick Kane. I ain't put it in a show, but it's on a page. And this is a guy that I worked with. I worked with this guy. I worked with him plenty of times. I had conversations with him plenty of times. Comes off as a nice guy, right? But like I said, the theory or the ideology or what you made to believe through covert racism is that they are not supposed to give you any flags. That's how covert racism operate. They are not supposed to give you any flags. So I get some screenshots today about him calling blacks thugs, animals, whole bunch of craziness. And him and his friends having comfortable conversations on a Facebook page, basically talking about killing blacks. That's what it came down to. They use coded language. Like, you gonna have to do whatever you do to protect yourself against these animals, right? He got videos on his page of black people angered, no justice, no peace, fed up, and taking their frustrations out on whatever, right? But people don't understand us. We are frustrated. We are frustrated. They don't understand what it feels like to get pulled over by the police, and the first thing you think, and you nervous. As soon as the police, no black man could ever tell you that they not. When those police lights come on in your rearview mirror, you get nervous. The first thing you think about is, what did I do? They don't even think that. They don't experience that. You know, we have a lot, us as a people, we ignore a lot because we go through so much. Like, we condition. It's like we walk with scabs on our body. Like, our whole body is scabbed up because we are constantly attacked by society in every which way. If they not attacking us physically, they're attacking us mentally by giving us the wrong history. When I was young, I was taught to hate Africa. We used to call our friends African booty scratchers. Like, we was taught to hate Africa, the motherland where everything originated from. This is crazy. So if they not attacking us physically, they're attacking us mentally. If they not attacking us mentally, they attacking us through laws and legislation. If they not attacking us through laws and legislation, they attacking us through economics. If they not attacking us through economics, they attacking us through work rules, contracts, unions. They attacking us on every level. Only difference is the game changed. The game changed. Like, the history is that when slavery ended, the white folks who was on the same level as blacks, they was taken care of through something called the Homestead Act. The Homestead Act gave white peasants, that's what they was called back then, gave white peasants free acres of land. The blacks were left with nothing. We was told to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps when we ain't even have boots. But they gave the white peasants land so they could get up on their feet, so they could grow their own food, so they could create things and things of that nature. We didn't get anything. That's why now the whole racist thing, it's crazy. It's funny because you have white folks who don't get the message. Like, you have more in common with me than you have in Trump, because the way Trump is thinking is that you were set. We gave you guys land. We gave you guys the country gave you guys stuff to get started, so you would never have to be poor. How did you end up amongst these black folks? How did you end up amongst these black folks? So this is how collateral damage come into place. Collateral damage come into place because they feel that you shouldn't even belong there with us to even get caught up. This is how they think. This is how they think. And we do need to have a collective fight. We do need to figure out how to make this work, because if I get a bad contract, especially on this job, you're going to get a bad contract. Why would you want someone who's not going to fight essentially for all? Utano is not fighting for all. Utano sees that this company is mostly of minorities. He don't care. He has the ideology of the top 1%. You don't belong here. Utano, he got rich off the union. Samuelson got, in 4 years, he made over $1 million. They got rich off the union. They are getting rich off of the union, and then they looking at you like, well, you shouldn't have fell in the trap to be with them, because look what they doing. They taking care of their friends. They taking care of their friends, and they play the racist game. It's just that people is not thinking. See, the union is not, they not putting the best people in place. They making a medley of people. So when you look at the top four, you got Utano, a white man. You had Nelson Rivera, R.I.P., a Hispanic. You have Latanya Crisp, a black woman. You have Earl Phillips, a black West Indian. You trying to tell me that wasn't racially set up that way to give the optics of not too much white, not too much black? Make sure you have a woman. Make sure you have a Hispanic. You got the white man. Make sure you have a black West Indian. It's set up like that so they could touch all demographics. It's politically played like that. I'm quite sure that the top four should consist of the best. The VPs should consist of the best, right? Not of, all right, this department is mostly of color, so you're going to have a black VP, or you're going to need a white VP for this department. There's no way that a black person could be the VP of MOW or whatever the case is. This is the game that they really play. So y'all accuse me or try to say that I'm racist. I'm not the one playing the game. They are playing the game to perfection. You guys is just overlooking it. They playing this game. When it comes to the union, we deserve the best. We deserve the brightest. We deserve the most intelligent. We deserve the person who's going to go out there and put damn near their life on the line to help us. We don't have that. We have a bunch of union career politicians too. Utano been elected for almost 40 years, older than me. He's a career politician. He never seen a boss a day in his life. He never went against a boss a day in his life. But we got to do better, man. These males, I'm not even gonna call them men, because men wouldn't do things like this. These males that's on the screen, we got to do something about them, because they are not the only two. It's a whole bunch of them. It's a whole bunch of them. They are not alone. They was the only two foolish ones to get caught, and we must make them pay the ultimate price. We must do it. Must. Let me see why I got you guys' attention again, because I seen someone say donating or whatever the case is, fundraiser. You could donate to the Progressive Action 100 Cash App. You could donate to the Progressive Action PayPal, Progressive Action 100. And we also have Patreon. If you want to donate, donations are accepted. Of course they are. But man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Just to think that the people that you work around with, they don't even care for you really. They talking about killing you. They talking about they making mockery of your lives. People who we see every day, people who say hello to us, people who bring us lunch. The way that I'm finding out that they thinking about us, some of them, is crazy. It's crazy. And I do believe that a lot of them, if they had a choice, we wouldn't work here. They only called you with us because they have to be. They only called you with us because they have nowhere else to go. They trapped with us. They have nothing else going for them, right? So if they had a choice to get us out of here, they would. They would. Not all of them. Not all of them, because you have, like I said, you got good people who put on uniforms. You got bad people who put on uniforms. These bad people, we got to do something with them. These racially bad people, we have to do something with them. We have to. We have to. We cannot let them slide. We got to do what we got to do. and hold them accountable. Thanks for tuning in to the Progressive Action TV show. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.